Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Wet n Wild Always Blushing eyeshadow palette. If you do want to see a review and a demo, then please keep watching. As a huge favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment anything down below. I greatly appreciate it. I read all the comments and I will do my best to reply back. This palette retails for $8.49 at Walmart. It is a bit cheaper on Wet n Wild's website if you do want to save some money. It retails for $7.98. I also reviewed the Always Naked eyeshadow palette. If you have not seen that review, I'll leave it right over here in the cards if you're interested. I do want to read a little bit about this palette on Wet n Wild's website. Take your natural looks a step further and become the flawless beauty you were born to be with the help of this makeup palette from Wet n Wild. With 16 ultra pigmented and blendable neutral shades set in matte, sparkle, and glitter finishes, this luxurious creamy formula glides on in a smooth application for flawless woke up this way looks that last. Here's a closer look on what the eyeshadow palette looks like. It says Wet n Wild Always Blushing. Here's what the back of the palette looks like. Again, it says Wet n Wild Always Blushing. Then you have the ingredients, and down at the bottom you have the barcode. You get 15 grams of product, or 0.53 ounces, and this was made in China. There is this small little diagram stating not to use around the eyes, I guess because it's a pigment. Here's what all 16 shades look like. Again, there's no shade names printed down at the bottom, so I'm just going to start with the first swatch and then we'll move straight across. Again, this formula is so creamy and soft in the pan. Here's what the first shade looks like. And then I'll blend this out. Next shade looks like a glitter finish. Again, super soft in the pan. That's a beautiful shade. Next up we have a matte. Let's see what the last shade in the top row looks like. Here's what all 16 shades look like swatched on the back of my hand. Now we're going to create a look using this palette. Taking a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to dip into the last shade in the first row. I'm going to apply this all over my crease, going back and forth, doing windshield wiper motions. That shade blended out so easily. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the other eye. Using that same brush, I'm going to dip into the second shadow right next to the first shade that we used. And apply this shadow right below the first shade, again going back and forth, doing windshield wiper motions. Here's what it's looking like so far. Again, this formula is blending out very easily. Swapping my brush for a flat shader brush, I'm going to dip into the third shade in the third row. I pack this in the center of my lid. That shade is stunning. I am getting a bit of fallout underneath, but that's totally fine. I'll clean that up later. I didn't have to wet my brush. I'm using this shade dry, and look how beautiful it is. Using my finger, I'm going to dip into the first shade in the third row. It's this glitter shadow. This shade is so beautiful. I'm just going to add a little bit to my halo eye. Oh yeah, that really made it pop. Again, I'm getting a little bit of fallout, but that's totally fine. Swapping my brush for a pointed pencil brush, I'm going to dip into the last shade in the first row, apply that in my inner corner, and then drag it up a little bit. That's really beautiful. Going back in with a clean flat brush, I'm going into the second row, the third shade. I'm going to apply this shade right in the middle between the first shadow I took and the glittery shade, just to blend everything together. I want to add a little bit of depth to my outer V, taking a clean eyeshadow brush. I'm going to dip into the third shade in the last row, push this shadow in my outer V. I'm just doing a stamping motion. I'm going to leave the eyeshadow look as is. Here's what it looks like. For mascara, I'm going to apply the Maybelline Curl Bounce Mascara. For lips, I'm going to apply the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink in the shade Witty. If you have not seen my lip swatch video, I'll leave it right over here in the cards if you're interested. Here's what everything looks like. My final thoughts on the Wet n Wild Always Blushing eyeshadow palette is that I really do like it. I like how easily the shadows blend into one another. There was minimal fallout with the matte shadows. With the shimmer shades, there was a little bit of fallout, but that's expected with any shimmer shadow. I enjoyed using this eyeshadow palette. I would highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments down below if you have tried either eyeshadow palette. I would love to know your thoughts. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.